Hello everyone, I'm Banana. I'm a painter for dogs. Today I want to share with you my thoughts on art. Perhaps you think art is not very much related to pets, but it is very much relevant to me. You can see this is actually the bulldog that I raise, one male, one female, and every single piece of artistic creation comes from two dogs that I raised. So I was born in 1990. Now I'm 30 years old. I think I've been an artist all along. When I was still an infant, I was already thinking about arts, believe it or not. I also do sculpture because that's my major. The reason why I chose to draw the two bulldogs at home is because they have been very old. One 9 years old, the other 10 years old, and they have been with me since I was in college. So I took them as the source of inspiration of my paintings. Every single painting is based on the two characters. This is me in the studio doing my work. Now, let me talk about some of my works. Before that, I'd like to talk about how I raise my pet. I call myself a zoo president. I have two birds and one tortoise and two dogs and some reptiles as well. I also have tattoos of my pets, so they are the greatest companions that I ever have and that I ever had. So they are meaning a lot of significance in my life. You can see this is a work which is a loving heart. It was for Valentine, and you can see it's 50 by 50 and is more like a heart, an emblem of love. Something else is also appearing a lot in my works. It is actually orange. So my name is Banana, and I love orange a lot. That's why there's a lot of oranges in my paintings, and you can see there are hundreds of bulldogs, and you can see the mouth and the nose of the bulldog, and then you have all the wrinkles around the nose, because we know for French bulldogs, a lot of them are now being loved in China, and you can see how its nose and mouth look like. We know there is a very famous painting by Da Vinci, which is the Last Dinner or the Last Supper, and you can see the dog in the middle of the painting is representing Jesus Christ. And we know as long-term dog owners, I have captured many loving moments of my dogs. And this is called Banana Boat. So it's just the arts, As for this one, the one above is based on a maiden's painting back in Tang Dynasty. It's very famous for all the hairpins that appeared in the hairdressing of the ladies. And the next one is going sightseeing in spring which is the collaboration that I have with Auction House for Ancient Paintings. So it's a lovely adaptation based on the ancient paintings of traditional Chinese art. And I transformed all of these lovely figures into bulldogs. It's the first time for me to do something of this sort. I enjoy the process very much, and the brands are also very happy about it. So this is the hair salon series, and this is the hundreds of bulldogs painting, and this one is bought by someone who is attending the wedding of his friend. So these two paintings, one for the bride, one for the bridegroom, and you can see that this is a quite interesting one, which is glowing terms. Well, the glowing terms means that young people like to encourage each other, like to speak highly of each other. So many of my friends, at least, are always having those glowing terms for me, so that I can be cheered up. That's why I made a painting on it. And this one is the fairy, about the fairy tale, and this one is the cactus bulldogs. So you can see they are both dogs and cactus at the same time. And you can see the one on the left hand side is called One Man's Christmas. We know Christmas is really quite romantic festivity, but for many who are living in big cities nowadays, they have to spend their Christmas Eve alone. That's why I drew such a painting for them. And this is a picture, a painting of the two dogs of mine. And of course, there are a couple. And this is the fried shrimp, which you can find in Japanese cuisine. So for this series of the works, it is called 1000 Selfies. It's 20 by 20, and now there are already 100 such selfies being completed, and there are going to be 1000 of them. I hope that everyone who bought one of these selfies, they can come back for my exhibition so that we can put all the 1000 selfies together, and that's going to be a very interesting scene for me to see. And next part is about some of the exhibitions that I have attended before. I think it takes a lot of commercial cooperation for artists to build their own brands. And I myself is not shying from such cooperation with commercial partners. And you can see this is the SHAF. If you are going to such exhibition, you are going to have the opportunity to expose your works to many brands, and you may develop brand partners from such event. So you have the buyers of such works, and you have brands who are seeking artists to cooperate with, and also you have the auctions that you can go. This is my cooperation with Mercedes-Benz. It has a new vehicle launch in Suzhou. This vehicle is facing the young generation, so it's a rather strong performance, cost-effective model. I'm the artist to draw my two dogs as the car owner, so it's a graffiti on-site experience for me. So that's about brand cooperation. This is in a shopping mall in Chongqing. You have a box-like space. it resembles the space inside a container, and you can see the products are being hung on the walls of the box. I think for arts, perhaps gallery and museums are no longer necessarily the place for them to be displayed. You can also find a lot of arts in shopping mall and other places. This is actually the display of a rather interesting furniture brand. And you can see from the style of their furniture products being quite novel and being quite refreshing. And I think that's a great fit for me. I get to show my works at their exhibition room, and that adds to their charm, but also but also means exposure for my works. You can see the table here, which is also a furniture brand. It is designed by Russian. It is called Earth Tree, but if you sit on it, you are going to feel it very comfortable to sit on, although it looks like it's wobbly. And you can also make a lot of adjustment of your physical posture when sitting on the chair or sitting on the table chair. And this table is this arm of this, the tiny table is going to be the place where you can place your PC on. So it's a great fit for office workers. And it's my drawing on top of it. So I think it's a great display of my work. This exhibition is in a cafe. You can see that our arts nowadays they can also be displayed in a cafe. This is an event. So it's hosted by a gallery in Shanghai, and every participant get to draw my dogs, and they can print it on their T-shirts. This is Machang, and what I did is the drawing on the left-hand side, and what the organizer did is they turned it into a three-dimensional display. And we know Mahjong is traditional Chinese game which everyone likes. That's another commercial project. I have many commercial corporations like such. This is at a hotel, and it's an instrument right in the lobby of the hotel, and it's right next to the reception. So it's also coming together with a fair where people can buy something. Now I want to talk about the derivatives or the merchandise, because for artists to work with brands, there is a big chance of launching some merchandise. For example, this is the candles and some creative pieces of art and some figurine and some very interesting albums, some stickers, ceramics. And this is for coffee brand that's using my works on the cover of their products to make it even more cute.
It's a snow skiing board brand, and I painted on site by hand. And this is a scarf brand. the year before 2 years ago at a pet show, and this is Bona Tianchun brand. This is the T-shirt and some live show on site. And this is last year, the year before last. And this is Cao Xikai, very famous moderator, and we have art show and different and dozens of artists will draw it, and finally we'll put them together. And this is the train I draw, and that is scenery there. And in the green train, very traditional one, they want to add some color to it. And this is the wall. 2 walls, 3 walls. And finally, I want to say, and I just write it down, I'm a very rhetoric person, and with better livelihood, the consumption, and we have some changes in the consumption, and in the past we consume a lot of materials, but now we have more spiritual pursuit, and therefore in terms of the value, we would consider other added value of it. And like I mentioned, this artistic work in recent years, many brands, and they have their artistic distribution and the support of the artist, and they would have the joint brand products and some of the exhibitions, and some brand owners, they are in support of these exhibitions. And they have very good things, and the art is quite a niche, and we need a brand to drive it, to make it more disseminated. And the brands need art, luxurious products, and they have a cross such as LV, and they work with Cun Shangluan and Cao Jian Mingsheng, and they have joined brand bags, and they are early practitioners, and they come up with a lot of new brands to join them. The other thing is about Uniqlo. Uniqlo, they have a series of products of T-shirts, and they have the animation, the games or artist, and they print it on the T-shirts. And this is another joint brand. And for example, my shirts, this is not from Uniqlo. And generally speaking, and we will see more such a crossover. And I want to say, I want to embrace the brands. And we also want to mutual embracing with each other. Banana, thank you. And thank you so much. And a very good presentation. Thank you so much.